We spend a lot of our time on social networks, strolling down our newsfeed or our dashboard, without knowing that we are a huge part of the media, without knowing that ideology is also a part of this media. Ideology is a conscious or unconscious ideas that are usually set for one goal or expectation. It's a certain way of looking at things. It's a way of belief. The theory of ideology is a particular set of ideas dominated by the social thinking of a group or people and how the group comes together from the inside to help maintain the dominant power over society. We should be aware of our society because ideology can be happening right under our noses without us noticing. As part of the society and with parents who are also part of the working class, I have felt as if I was part of a situation where a part of particular ideas were being dominated over my group of people, which are the working class, where we are deceived and made to believe something that isn't true. Learning more about ideology can help me understand what is happening in our society and media, as well as with other classes and with the false hope that is given. First, I will share with you the root of ideology so you can have a background to lean on. And second, I will cover Stuart Hall's ideas in writing an ideology, and finally, the different classes and the consequences of ideology. So first of all, what is ideology? In order for you to get a better understanding of what ideology is, we must first go in Hall's writings and outline the consequences to the different classes. In society, most of us are part of the working class and we are dominated by the ruling class. We struggle day by day for a paycheck, but the media passes commercials showing what we should buy or what we should spend money on. We are bombarded with propaganda every day. According to Walsh in the Post Journal Quest, Race as a Material Ideology, in 2014, the working class is a part of the ideology of a working class tradition. Divisions with the working class can cause problems like racism. We are stuck in the working class conditions because we are being controlled and made to look at it as if it's completely normal. So what is the different classes and the consequences of ideology? Well, the different classes are one, ruling class, and the other class is the working one. The ruling class is another way of saying the upper class, and it obviously has wealth and has power to shape and shift the direction of the country. The working class is also known as the lower class, presented by Mix. In social literature, the working class includes all those who endure mental or physical labor to produce economic value. The consequences to the form of ideology can lead to racism. According to the work of author Dulce, there is much more about ways to reconcile working class racism, instead of viewing racism as a false conscience. Now that we have discussed what ideology is and the consequences towards the theory and the two classes it has, let's move on to the ideas and writing of John Physics and Stuart Hall. In order to understand what racism and division of our classes occur, we must discover the writings of the work starring Stuart Hall. First, let's explore what Stuart Hall's thoughts were. He explained that the problem with ideology was current. Racism and the media was directly connected to the problem of ideology. Because the media is the main operator that sends information out. We always watch TV, we're always sitting down watching TV, so we get that information. This tells us that the division in our classes are because the actions of the racism and the media is the middleman. This still goes on today. Many working class people come home from work and watch television and see the racism and class dividers that the ideology carries. This theory connects to this event because it's still happening now. We still have ideology in the society and through the media. Many of the people who are sitting in this room have working class parents or are working class as themselves. As much as we want to ignore the idea of being dominated and forced to think about it normally, we have to take the thoughts of Stuart Hall and put them into our own thoughts. We are told that the cops and the police are right, non-violent defenders of the law and the order they continue the order they are given, and that young black men should be isolated and they're aggressive. Ideology depends on the lenses being looked through. So the cops don't always do what they're told, and black men are not always a threat. The theory is being used by another people who have taken the tree of ideology and have branched out into different sections. According to an article posted on January 2013 on the Journal of Communication, many medicated communications by various authors who cover ideology and branched out into the communication, they collected information with events that are part of ideology groups. The author of this articles are analyzing how the internet can take advantage of the communication technology to spread their ideas of ideology and pull in new members. They also use a form of ideology by propaganda, which has a big part of their internet ideological groups. Basically, they are analyzing how the working class people are tired of the way that ideology, the ruling class, controls their lives. It is important to discuss the effect ideology has on our society to understand how it affects us with different classes and deception. First, I went over the meaning of ideology, and then I explored the consequences and racism in our society and media. And finally, at the end, I just talked about the thoughts and ideas of Stuart Hall. We might find ourselves part of the working class who dominates, or the ruling class, or hear about the racism in the media. However, next time you're in a situation trying to get more involved in Stuart Hall's right.